Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's video is about CFP, Certified Financial Planner, and what is my journey of achieving this designation finally. What is CFP? CFP is Certified Financial Planner. It's an official designation issued by the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards, what we call CFP Board. On their website, the definition is an ethical, competent financial planner, bring together the different parts of a client's financial life to build a roadmap for the future. Therefore, it is often considered one of the most highly regarded certifications that financial professionals can attain. I recently passed my exam and achieved all the requirements that I will talk about later. But the CFP board sent me over a magazine. It's called The Standard. I can tell that the CFP board has been putting a lot of effort in making the designation more professional and more well-known. I am proud that I have achieved this designation so far because there is a page in the magazine showing us the demographics of the current CFP professionals. Between the age 20 to 29 years old, there's only 6%. I am currently 29 years old, so I am proud of myself for achieving this professional. What are the requirements? We say there are 4 E's: education, exam, experience, and ethics. The first requirement, education. It is the coursework and the bachelor's degree. In general, you have to complete the CFP required courseworks. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 principal knowledges, domains and topics. Don't be intimidated by me counting the numbers. In general, they are all comprehensive together, but let me list these 8 topics. The courseworks are professional conduct and regulation, general principles of financial planning, risk management and insurance planning, investment planning, tax planning, retirement savings and income planning, estate planning, and psychology of financial planning. In the end of the day, depends on which institution you choose to study for the coursework, they will break it down completely different. But these 8 topics are what you have to manage to understand to pass the exam later. In addition to the CFP required coursework, you also have to have a bachelor's degree. Doesn't matter of the major, but you have to make sure you hold the diploma. Now we are talking about the exam requirement, what it is. It's a 170 multiple choice questions, and the total exam is 6 hours, but with an optional 40 minutes break. On the exam day, you will be tested on your understanding of the 8 topics we just mentioned. And in general, there will be a lot of case studies that test your applicable or practical skill sets on how to apply the knowledges in real-life client situations. Now we come to the third requirement, experiences. A lot of people have been asking, if I finished my coursework and I finished the exam or I passed the exam, am I able to just get the CFP designation? Not yet. If you haven't complete your experience requirement, you also have to wait until this is fulfilled. So how do you get this experience requirement fulfilled? There are 2 pathways. The first pathway is called professional work experience. It requires you to have 6,000 hours. And the second pathway is called apprenticeship. It only requires you to have 4,000 work hours. Why is that? Because the first pathway, you won't have direct supervising with a certified financial planner. And the second pathway, you will be reporting your work hours under the direct supervision of a certified financial planner. If we do a math in general, there are 40 hours a week, and then 4 weeks in a month, and then 12 months in a year. Multiply all of them together. In 1 year, you will approximately gain 1,920 hours. So the first pathway, professional, you will need 3 years to achieve it. The second pathway with apprenticeship, you will need approximately 2 years to achieve it. The last requirement is ethics. It is the most important one because it holds the value of a CFP certification. One oath we take after we pass the exam and before we get our professional certification is to fulfill an ethics questionnaire, and that is the last requirement. We are basically putting an oath, like a doctor putting an oath to serve their patients. We put an oath to serve our clients under fiduciary responsibility. That means we, by legal obligation, have to put our client's need before our need. Or, in another way, we have to always consider what is the best for our clients. Now you understand what is a CFP. I would like to share how I get the idea of becoming a CFP and my unique journey of how I finally achieved this dream long time ago. So first thing first, I came to United States to study as an undergraduate student. In 2019, I was able to succeed in my interview and get an internship at a New York City-based fee-only wealth management firm. From there, almost everyone is a CFP or a CFA. I learned about this designation and I see from my first-hand experience of how a CFP impacts our client's life. I started to have the idea that I wanted this certification. And just happened in my college around 2018 and around 2019. My school happened to be introducing CFP coursework into our curriculum, so I decided to take a leap of faith and incorporate it into my undergraduate studies. Fast forward, I thought everything would be fine and I would just continuously working and studying, but not really. I graduated early in 2019 December with enough credits. And also, I was able to secure an offer in a well-known custodian firms to be their 401k specialist. At that time, I also completed 4 courseworks out of the 8 domains we just talked about. I will be honest, if without the CFP coursework, I probably won't get this 401k specialist offer. At that time, again, I thought everything would be fine, but as an international student here in United States, if you don't know the difficulty of it, it's okay. I can explain it in a different video. But in reality, what happened was they already promised me and we already signed the offer of sponsoring me to have a 3-year H-1B work authorization. However, due to a budget cut and COVID happened around that time, that company decided we are not going to hire any international students, especially if they are just out of college. We will maintain our international workforce who is already within the firm to sponsor them because sponsorship requires a lawyer, requires application fee. It actually is just a lottery, happens once a year. Again, too much legal terminologies. However, because of the troublesome process and everything, my offer, I still remember that day I received a call from HR and HR just told me straightforward, well, I know you signed the offer, but you couldn't find that email anymore because we withdrew it. So even I graduated early and I am in the middle of COVID lockdown in 2020 March, my offer was withdrew. I decided to graduate in a normal time frame in 2020 May just to give myself some more time to apply for that 10-month work authorization in United States called OPT, so I can stay in United States, work legally, and considering what I want to do. Basically, around the year 2020 to 2022, I was in a survival mode, so I had no capacity to consider what is CFP, to even finish the coursework. So I did mention I had 4 coursework completed at this time, but with all the life happening, I also have to work, and what happened is with the 10-month work authorization, what we call OPT, I was working as a retail manager at a big corporation, but also studying for GRE, applying for different graduate schools. Everything happened within 10 months because I only have 10 months to do all of it. Since I was in survival mode, there is no time and nothing to consider. There was one point I couldn't afford my rent, I couldn't afford to eat even. So I remember so vividly, I had one supervisor or a manager. She's a very, very nice lady. She learned my situation. She gave me some rice. So I actually, thanks to her, I survived for about a week and a half. But anyway, since I was in survival mode between the year 2020 to 2022, I couldn't complete my CFP coursework, so everything is on hold. In 10 months, I finished my GRE. I forgot the score, but apparently it's pretty good. That got me into a graduate school, and I have to pay for my private student loan is I had no co-signer here in United States, and my parents wasn't helping me with all of my big ambitions. But in 2023, that is when I about to graduate my graduate school, I was able, since I was working on campus in Career Center, I found an internship in a independent broker-dealer. And eventually I received a return offer in 2023 when I graduate. From there, the leadership in that independent broker-dealer encouraged me to continuously going on with my CFP study. That's how I decided after possibly 3 to 4 years, I'm going to go back into it, because I realized throughout all of these years, it's something that I wanted to complete. So from there in 2023, I already completed 4 courses. So the 5th course is in retirement domain. Unfortunately, I actually failed that course. So at that time, I was doubting myself. Am I really good for it? Or is it because of the pause that I forgot about everything? But then in this pursuit, I received another offer in a well-known bank's wealth management department. So I decided to grab that opportunity, but it's also at that moment I decided I really want to complete the coursework. Even I failed it once, but why not just continue? Then while I was working in this well-known bank, I realized it was very hard with the long working hours and a bit hostile work environment because it is very competitive in the bank. It was hard to complete all the coursework, but during the 2 years I have been at the firm, I utilized all of my free time to complete the coursework. And a good side, even I took this long to finish all of my coursework, the education requirements. Throughout these years, I actually completed all of my working hour requirements without myself knowing before I even sit for the exam. So that is a bonus. Anyway, when all the coursework is completed and all the working requirement has completed, there's only one thing left for me to do, to sit for the national exam. In November 2024, I decided to sit for my first national exam, and very unfortunately, I didn't pass. I know it sounds very I lost word here because it's actually not easy to admit when you are working in the industry and working in a hostile work environment. When you don't pass something that you work for, people will say a lot of things to you. I admit to myself though, I didn't prepare enough. And in reality, the pause between my coursework wasn't helpful. One thing I learned along the way is the full coursework that I completed between 2019 to 2020, they don't expire, so I don't have to retake it again. And I thought it was good, so I only continued with the rest of the topics and sit for the exam thinking I would be good. However, I wasn't. Like I mentioned, the exam itself tests you on your understanding and practical skill set in a lot of different case scenarios. Apparently, I didn't understand certain topics. So, since I failed in November 2024, I told myself I am not giving up there. So I immediately registered for the March 25th, 2025 CFP exam window and decided to take an exam review course. I studied very hard, doing almost 100 questions every day, even with the long working hours. And then, very fortunately, I passed my CFP exam in March. The exam result comes out immediately after you finish your exam, but you will only know if you pass or fail. At least when I see the pass on my screen, I think I cried. Because for me, this journey represents my journey in United States as well, with all of the survivals, with all of the struggles that no one I really shared with. It feels like a very perfect period for the year 2025, summarizing my year since 2016 to 2025. All in all, I passed the exam, and soon after, I submitted my ethics requirement. Also, at the moment when I passed my CFP exam, I thought to myself, after all the ethics and fiduciary requirement I have been studying, maybe my current work environment is not the best for me, as it's very competitive between coworkers. It's also, there are many things which I can present another video for it. However, I realized my real calling is with a fee-only wealth management firm, because only in that environment I feel I can fully be the analyticals that I would love to be. And also I can be the one who help clients without thinking I need to put the company's profit in front of the client's need sometimes. And this is the saddest truth with the industry sometimes. So, in short, the moment I passed my CFP exam, because I see it in my screen, 2 days after I quit my job, even though it's a pretty well-known bank and it's a very successful job, like a lot of people will say. But I decided to quit, and soon after, I am looking for a goal in a fee-only wealth management firm to be an analyst, where I can truly put the client's need and where I can truly sit there and analyze what I prefer to do the most. Very fortunately, fast forward to today, I found a small but boutique wealth management fee-only firm, and I have been very happy ever since then. In the end, I want to share my reflections in this long CFP journey. 1. Don't take long pauses when you start your coursework, and do as much Q banks as you can, because it really helps you to grasp the ideas. 2. Having work experiences actually helps a lot. So even if you fulfill your work experiences before you fulfill your coursework, don't be afraid. It does take a lot more grinding, but having the financial planning work experiences helps when understanding case studies. 3. And lastly, just enjoy the journey. whether it's for study or it's for your life, because every one of us is unique. The reason of me deciding to take this designation is different from you, or you just happen to bump into my video and wondering what is CFP. No matter which one it is, just enjoy the journey. I hope this video helps you to think about what is CFP mean to you, what is study mean to you. In the end of the day, life is worth living when you know what you are doing it for, not what other people is telling you what to do. This is just my intake, and anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope it helped you to understand what is CFP and what does it take. I sincerely enjoy studying for it, and I hope you enjoy everything you choose to do as well. Thank you.